So hi, World of Noise podcast. I'm Shane,
I'm Glory.
and we're here with.
Jon Wiilde.
And we have some questions to say about his new single, "Quit Your Job." So congrats on that, by the way. How do you feel about the response to it so far?
I feel really good. It's been really fun, and it's been a long time coming. We've had this song in the tuck for a minute, and was just trying to figure out, between COVID, pandemic, all the things, the best way to start rolling things out, and this being like the first kind of push, if you will, in a while, feels like the start of something, and I feel like people are getting on board. And if they don't, that's okay too. Um, but it feels like the start of something. It feels really good.
Hell yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, song rocked.
Song is cool. How long were you sitting on it for?
I'll put it like this. So we dropped the video, a couple weeks ago. We shot the video January, February of last year.
Oh wow.
Oh, wow.
Had it for a minute. It's been a minute.
Yeah.
And yeah, the personal journey is a journey. But it feels good now because it's just like, like I'm going down next week to Los Angeles. I live in Sacramento. And we're gonna shoot another video. We got another song coming. I haven't announced that exactly yet, but either way, I got another song coming on like the 10th. And so I'm excited. It feels like things are rolling.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And you're talking about like the start of something. Are you talking about that in the sense of like there's been a lot of fan reaction, a lot of people that you haven't seen interacting with your stuff? Or are you talking in terms of like a record cycle?
I guess I'm talking in more of like a philosophical life sense.
Okay.
Okay.
I feel like personally, because I dropped a project in, what was it, 2019, 2018? I don't remember. I should know that.
That's
either
okay.
way. And I've made a lot of music, and the not to blame a pandemic, because I know that's kind of an easy go-to. And it was a lot harder and worse for a lot of other people. But, it was an interesting time, and I made so much music. And I feel like currently I'm sitting on the best records I've ever made thus far. And I'm just excited to share it with the world, whether it's like one person, or
Mhm.
it's a million people are like, this is tight. Like either way, the numbers don't really matter as much to me. It's just more like I'm excited to embark, and it feels like the ship has left the dock.
Okay. That makes sense. You
Understood.
picked the secret third option as
I
the
did.
answer to my question.
Yeah, man.
Got a lot and then go on tangents,
That's all right.
The guy.
So, is there any meaning behind the single title or cover art?
Totally. The cover art I think is just so much fun. Because I'm wearing a mop, and like one of the lyrics is like, never mop another floor.
Mhm.
And I'm smoking weed because weed is cool.
Yep.
So um and the story behind that song is, I think, kind of cool. I used to be a music teacher. I was teaching lessons for 8 years, and in the last couple of years of it, I had set up my teaching schedule so I could teach from Sunday through Wednesday. And then Wednesday night, what I would do is I would pack up my car and I would drive down to Southern California. And from Sacramento, that's like a 5.5 hour drive. And I would do sessions, or attempt to do sessions, from Thursday through Saturday night. Saturday night, pack up my car and drive back. And it was a good time. I wasn't doing it every week.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Not
Thank
every-
you. I was like, damn, dude.
So it'd be once, sometimes twice a month.
Mhm.
And one of the trips, I got to do a session with a friend of mine. It was our first time doing a session together. His name is Ryan Marone. He produced Quit Your Job with me. He's a wonderful dude. And it was like my first time like writing with with him. and we got a lot of the song pieced together, but I just didn't have like the you should the quit your job part. I didn't that hadn't come yet. And I left that day, and the next day I was in a studio by myself and I was writing, and it took me a couple hours, and I was like, finally, like, you should quit your job. And I was like, ah, shit. Okay, well, now I gotta. Okay.
Yeah.
Like the song kind of happened, and I was like, I think it's time to make a jump, and I can't have this song and not make a jump. And
Yeah.
then I came home, and my girlfriend was like, and I had not talked about this show or anything, and she was like, I feel like I can't work where I'm working anymore. And I was like, boy, do I have a song for you. And then like a couple weeks later, I was back down in LA. My sister lived there, and she was like, she's a nurse. She's like, I don't think I can stay at this hospital anymore. And I'm like, boy, do I have a song for you. And, like, everybody around me kind of was like in the set. And I'm like, and then my best friend called who lived in Austin, and he was like, dude, I hate this construction job and I need a change. And I was like, boy, do I have a song for you. It was surrounding me.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, it's talking.
All right. You kind of like manifested that energy by like putting that down on paper.
I guess so.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
All right. So can you tell us a little bit about your writing process for this song?
Yeah. Like I said, me and Ryan linked up, and that we spent a day together and got most of the instrumental, and then had like a lot of the vocal, but didn't have it all figured out. And then the next day took me literally a couple hours just to figure out what I was saying in the simplest sense. Like I couldn't, and as soon as quit your job came out, I was like, oh duh, damn, I was working way too hard.
Mm-hmm.
And then yeah, cut a demo, and then I think I came back on another trip and then fleshed out all the vocals and recorded those myself. And then Ryan sent the session over, and I did my thing with a lot of the wonderful music he made and just arranged it a little bit and did the thing. And yeah.
Nice.
Damn. All right. Perfect. So I want you to tell us your favorite lyric off this track and what it means to you.
Okay. Favorite lyric. Maybe just the opening line. Maybe there's a moment where you've had enough. Finally, a day where it gets bad enough. Or staying at a job where you ain't making much, ain't really making much sense.
All right.
Maybe that one.
Yeah.
Damn. All right. Yeah.
Fire.
That's a good line.
Yeah. So I'm going to assume that like kind of going into this session, you were like not really feeling it with your job, which is like why a song like this came out, or was this just kind of
for the people?
Yeah.
I mean, it was something that I had, and to give a little bit of background too, like it's an interesting predicament because the school of music that I was teaching at, I also own, and I am currently sitting in. Like, this is my studio, this is my space, this has been home for years. Like I love this space, I still work out of it, and it was basically, I wanted to not do the day-to-day lessons and teach anymore in that regard. But when it's the blessing and the curse of working for yourself, where you're like, I have a couple guys here that I do rely on, and they're my best friends and I love, but it's like, I don't have a boss to go like, hey, let's find somebody else to cover my thing. And so for a very long time, I was like, should I, shouldn't I, da 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 da. I feel like I need to. But then going in that day, I had no plans to make a song really in any specific direction. And then, I think I maybe smoked a little something, maybe took a little something.
As one does.
And not every session. It's not an every time thing. It was just like, that's what was the vibe. And it started just sort of falling out. Sometimes your subconscious needs to say something. And then I guess the next day sober, I figured out the rest. Yeah, so no plans, but it had to come out.
Fair enough.
Makes sense. So this one should be super, super quick off the top of your head. I want you to describe this track for new listeners in 3 words. No more, no less.
Quit your job.
No. Has to be something new.
I was like, oh, I see why you thought that would be so quick. Okay. Believe in yourself.
All right,
Damn.
that's good.
Cat poster. All right.
So in that same train of thought, is there a certain feeling or emotion you want listeners to have while going through the track?
No, I think listeners can have whatever feelings and emotions they want. And as soon as the song comes out, it's not really mine anymore. It's everybody else's. So whatever relationship you have, if you have one, is yours.
Fair enough.
Hell yeah. So while listening through this track, what band or artist influence pops out the most to you, if any?
Oh, I don't really. Maybe Mac Miller. He shows up a lot for me in a lot of things. I love that dude.
Yeah, me too.
Rest in peace, the most dope. Yeah, maybe him.
Oh yeah, love Mac Miller.
So what is your favorite memory that you made while creating this single?
Probably just that epiphany of just like, oh, I got to make a change in my life, and that doesn't happen with every song. It doesn't happen with most of them.
Mm-hmm.
Just that feeling of like, oh, I gotta change something, and then it was, that later that month, I'm not teaching anymore. I figured it all out. I was like, this has got to happen now. And then briefly after that, it was, a couple videos on TikTok started doing decently of me just like singing in a bathtub for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know why I've been here, but I've been here. And I was like, I guess it's not like there's a drastic life change in that way, but I was like, maybe a little head nod from the universe of like, keep going. I'm like, cool, I will.
Yeah. And it's crazy that like you had the epiphany, and then like it feels like everyone around you was like at the same time having that epiphany, and they're all just like, fuck this.
Yeah. And I'm like, let's go.
Yeah. So like when we're kind of doing a timeline here of like when the song was happening, like when did you kind of write this and finish this?
When did it get finished? I guess it was finished like, yeah, right around the time we were shooting the video. I think I got the official master back from my mastering engineer, Eric Broyhill. Shout out Eric. Yeah, like January, February of last year. That was, and so some parts of the process sometimes take a while where like you finish a song and then getting it mixed. Shout out Scotty Damaris. He's a wonderful mix engineer. He's awesome. That'll be, well, we decided not to get it mixed until a couple months later and da. So, yeah.
Makes sense.
All right. So for this question, I want you to picture you're on tour. You're at a gas station for a rest stop. You're going in. What is your snack of choice?
Oh, I'm gonna be super bougie if I can do it. Which won't be at every gas station. If they got grass-fed beef jerky, I'm on it.
Damn, dude, that's like $12 for like half an ounce. That's crazy.
It's crazy. The price is crazy, but it's super good. And in this scenario, money doesn't matter.
Yeah, you're headlining arenas in this scenario.
Exactly.
Yeah, which on tour is gonna for sure matter. So yeah, I'm going with that, and like a black coffee.
All right.
Nothing?
Good.
No sugar, no cream, nothing.
I'm good. I recently, yeah, just black coffee. That's how I'm drinking it right now. Yeah.
God bless you. That's crazy. I could never.
So on the topic of food, if your project was a dish, what dish would it be and why?
We're going with mushrooms.
Okay.
The silly mushrooms or like shiitake?
You just whatever ones you want,
Okay.
Listen, never had the silly mushrooms, but I had not silly mushrooms on the grill.
Okay.
At a vegan restaurant. That shit was crazy, bro. You put some lemon on it.
Hell no.
It was so
Hell
good.
No, was it like cosplaying as like a burger?
No, it was cosplaying as like ribs or some shit. I don't know, but it was fucking crazy.
It's fun. I was vegan for like 5 years, and then a couple months ago I like did pretty much a 180 flip, and now I mostly eat just like meat and expensive ass beef jerky. And
right.
And I feel incredible, but like the shift has been great, but also like they could do some crazy stuff with the cosplay and burgers. I'm like, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. I've also never heard that term. That's funny.
That is pretty funny.
Sure.
So for these last couple questions, we're actually gonna shift away from music, if that's okay with you.
Yes.
Awesome. So we're actually gonna go straight to death row.
Boom.
So if you're on death row, what would your meal be with a drink?
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. I've thought about this, and it's a lot of things. Okay.
Okay.
And maybe now it's changed. Oh, I haven't thought about this since I haven't been vegan. But the first thing is, because this is food, is we're gonna kick it off with a very large portion, or end, but probably kick off with a very large portion of those silly psilocybins, because I think that'll be an interesting way, and I probably can accept what's happening a little bit.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I'm rolling with that, which
Mhm.
is not allowed, but this is my scenario, so fuck it.
Exactly. It's fine. It's fine. It's allowed on our death row.
Let's go. And then now, I mean, like, I really maybe would like a really good steak and eggs. I know that's simple, but like I just love it and it feels great. And maybe this is gonna sound a little funny too, but maybe some like bison or buffalo bacon to go on the side of that.
Mhm.
And my girlfriend a few years has on my birthday made like a pretty wonderful chocolate cake.
Mm.
So for the sentiment, maybe that with a little bit of ice cream, from a spot locally in town called Leatherby's here. So some steak, some eggs, some bacon, some cake, some ice cream, some motherfucking mushrooms.
Hell
All right.
yeah.
And how you washing all that down?
Oh, you literally said drink, and I didn't.
That's okay. You were so caught up in the food. You were so excited.
I water and like a really good cup of coffee.
Okay.
Black coffee.
Yes, black coffee.
Ridiculous. Sorry. Ridiculous.
You're like, how is that your last drink? It's
I just-
coffee.
I can't believe it. I can't. You're not gonna like splurge and be like, you know what? I'll take a little hazelnut creamer in there. No.
Want it?
Fuck. Okay. All right. I respect it. I respect it.
So if you could live in one fiction world for a week, where would you live?
I'm gonna alternate a little bit. I'd like to live in an album, and the album would be Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club by the Beatles.
Okay.
Damn. Which cover is that? Like, which album cover is that?
That's
It's the crazy one where they're all wearing like super bright suits, and it's like a bunch of it's a crazy cover. It
Mhm.
looks it's got a lot going on.
honestly,
Okay.
we'll take that because just based on that album cover,
Mhm.
shit's crazy in that world.
It's
Yeah.
a crazy world,
Yeah.
you know?
That's not here. That's not like real world shit.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. I'm glad you guys accept the answer. Appreciate
Okay.
it.
Of course. So I have the honor of asking the last question. Every single person we've spoken to has actually said it is the most important question.
Okay.
What is your favorite color?
Don't have one.
If you had to like randomly choose, if you had to say like eeny meeny miny mo you, like which one would you like land on?
I think that picking a favorite color is like picking a favorite food or picking a favorite song. And it's like it depends on the day and moment and what you're feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And there's just, when you look at nature doesn't like favor one thing over the other. There's like this weird, not symmetrical, but balance to it.
Mhm.
But right now, let's go with burnt orange.
Okay.
There you go. Hell
Alright.
yeah.
Sounds good.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So as Gloria said, that's all the questions we have today. Is there anything that you would like to plug?
My name is Jon Wiilde. Quit Your Job is out now. Stream it, watch it, do whatever, and quit your job if you want. You know,
Oh
if
yeah.
you want, I believe in you.
I love that.
Well, thank you for now. It's been Jon Wiilde, and we have been the Good Noise Podcast.